When temperatures get this warm, it puts a lot of stress on your plants. One of the most important things you can do this month is make sure they have plenty of water, especially those plants in pots, excuse me.
In this segment of Johnette's Garden Club, we learn about a test to determine whether your plants need more water.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Mark Wilson and we're talking about watering in the summer. So essential when it's 100 degrees, and right now the heat index is over 100 every day. So, but I find that the watering needs of even just the plants in my pots are different. Can it talk about that?
So they are. The different types of pots can actually have an influence on that. You have ceramic or terracotta, you'll have your plastics versus your wood, your containers. And it makes kind of some sense if you think about it. Those ceramic ones, they get hit by the sun, they absorb that heat and they hold it in really well. That's why we cook in ceramic dishes. Versus your plastics, you did a great job here. You had a black pot, you spray painted it with a lighter color to give it a different shade. It won't absorb that heat as bad. And then wood will absorb the heat, but it doesn't dissipate it out into the plant material as quickly. So it works out really well for that. Really though, it comes down to the same thing. With container gardening, we do have to monitor them. It's not like your lawn or your shrubs or your trees. We have to kind of watch these. Most of the time in our summer months, it's once a day watering, sometimes as much as 2 to 3 times a day for the smaller containers. You did a great job with these larger containers. Once a day probably is more than enough. But when we do start hitting those triple-digit numbers, now the feel-like temperature doesn't matter to a plant, but the real temperature numbers, that's where we're really gonna have to really watch them close. It might be if you're watering them once a day, we may come back in that evening. If you're watering in the morning, check it again. You might want to get a little supplemental water. Because the easiest way to tell, use your pointer finger. If you stick your finger into the ground, use your knuckles deep. The tip of your finger, it's about 1 inch long, is wet, is moist. You're fine. That top inch is the most important when it comes to containers and most plants. If I can keep that area wet, everything else, well, we can guarantee probably has water below that point.
All right, great information. Thank you, Mark. For KTBS 3 News, I'm Johnette Magner.
And if you'd like to learn more about gardening in the Arklatex, visit our website. Go to ktbs.com/gardenclub.